Hey, Brad.
Hi, Sal.
Oh my goodness. So we visited Venice in Italy.
Yes.
It was expensive and interesting and beautiful. It pretty much had a lot going on.
Oh, I love Venice. By the way, we rushed through a couple of places so we could be there on February 14th.
Yeah,
So,
that was fun.
So
It is romantic.
yes. And Venice is different. If you've not been there, it is a group of 108 small islands, all connected with bridges, from big ones over the Grand Canal to small ones. You just kind of over a tiny canal, and there are little boats in it.
That's a really good point. Venice is ultra walkable. There's a bit of sticker shock if you're going to take the water taxis.
Yeah, it was.
€7
Yeah.
to cross the canal, basically.
Right.
When you
Yeah.
first get there, you're like, okay, well, I must have a water taxi because I don't know where I'm going. But you learn really quickly, actually, you could just walk every single place because it's very tiny.
Yeah, we can call it tiny, but you can definitely walk it. In fact, that was one of our days where we went down to San Marcos Square, which we should talk about, and took the water taxi over to. Sorry, I don't know the name of it. You walk out to this point, and we just walked back from there, and kind of you get lost walking through the areas, but you don't. You're wondering where to go. Oh, there's some people walking that way. Let's follow them. Or you'll get to the end. Oh, we either jump in and swim, or we turn around and go back. So we opted to turn around,
Right.
and but it was beautiful. I mean, the hours just wandering through the walkways and some alleyways.
We have really beautiful pictures from there. Because it was February when we were there, it was rainy, which makes for amazing lighting and sky.
Oh.
I think people always want to be out when the weather is delightful, but if you're into photography or you want to have really great travel photos, remember an interesting sky makes an interesting photo and can enhance the lighting significantly.
Yeah. Just you walk up on some of the bridges and you take shots down the canal, and it's just beautiful. So the first day we were there, it started pouring. We, full rain gear, and it's pouring, and it's just like, wow. It just wasn't enough. So we ended up buying umbrellas that we kept for about 3 months, but it was so much nicer under the umbrella. But in, an hour and a half, it cleared up, and it was beautiful because no one was coming out yet. Everyone was staying in for the rain. So we had a good hour of at San Marcos Square. There was 10 people in the square. It's fantastic.
That does make for great photos as well. If you
Yeah.
get up early, and like we always say, get up early and check everything out as soon as you can. We stayed in an Airbnb.
Yeah.
It was a interesting stay. The house was a shared accommodation, so we had a private room with a shared bath and shared kitchen facility. What was really great was going into the cafe that was near there. Do you remember they sold open face tuna sandwiches for breakfast? They were so good.
Yeah. Papa Bar?
Okay.
Papa Bar?
I don't remember.
It was
the name.
really good. Well, because, you're in Venice and you're thinking the food's going to be outrageous. The food prices here were really good. It was all homemade.
Yeah.
The hours were a little iffy. He says, yeah, we open at 9 o'clock. And, he wasn't open at 9 o'clock. So we ended up going somewhere else and getting a breakfast. But
They had beautiful pastries. They had terrific cappuccino.
Yeah.
There was a guy that was in there every morning. We were in there drinking wine.
wine for breakfast.
Right at the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
I admired the Italian spirit there. And, when you're walking around, it's always good to keep your eyes peeled to look for dining options if you don't want to go to the very touristy areas. And really, Venice is really touristy.
Yes,
so there's
it
not
is.
a lot of options unless you maybe find a grocery store or something and make your own food.
Right, yeah, we had access to a kitchen, which is one of the nice things about Airbnb. Most of the time, you'll have a kitchen.
Yeah.
Go to the grocery store, you'll save.
Yeah.
A
If you're
lot of money.
long-term,
Yeah.
long-term travel means making your own food a lot of the time.
Yeah.
We were given advice by our host. She said you could buy big bottles of wine. They sell them in plastic liter bottles.
Right.
We didn't end up doing that. We ended up getting a bottle of wine, and then we couldn't get the cork out.
Right. There was no wine opener at the place, so.
Poke it in.
Yeah. We got it.
That works.
Yeah.
You just got to drink the whole darn bottle.
Right. Anyway, San Marcos Square
Yep.
was great. They have this amazing church, San Marcos Church. The gold inlays underneath the archways are beautiful. The marble was just, it's from all over the world. They put this together to brag about how opulent and rich they were. So they really did really did a nice number. This 300 plus foot steeple bell tower was just fantastic. That's what you see. You know, that's how you know where the square is, this huge thing. And then, yeah, the water taxis.
Immediately across from San Marcos Square is a big cathedral or church.
Yeah.
With a dome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and you can get out there, you can walk around the whole thing and take tons of photos there.
Yeah.
That whole side of the canal is really fantastic to explore as well. So many photographic opportunities at the gondolas and...
Right, ride a gondola. We chose not to. This was kind of early in our trip, and it was, I don't know, 80 euros. It was pricey. Yeah. So if I go back, I definitely will do it. They're all over the place, and they, you know, you really just got to pick where you want to take the trip. And there's also if you really want to go extravagant for, you know, like 60 euros, you can get a power boat and they'll drive you around. But
yeah, we first got there. We didn't fly. We took the train.
Yeah, took the train.
And the first thing that we did was try to see if we could get a water taxi. So there's like a private water taxi, and then there's sort of a water bus, I'll call it.
Yes.
We tried to talk this guy into taking us across the canal. He's like, no, you don't want to do that. It's going to cost you 50 euros just to get across. And it's not that far. It's not worth it unless you have a ton of baggage or you're wealthy.
Yeah.
And even I found the water bus sort of thing a little pricey at £7 or €7 to get across, but it was worth it for us the first day when we got there because we had all of our luggage with us.
Yeah, we took it a few times.
We
it's
figured
certainly
that
not
system
bad.
out pretty good. You could take it from one end, like in the middle where the train station is, all the way to the far end of the canals.
Yeah, you can take
For
it
the
all the
same
way to
price.
Lido Island.
Yeah.
So it's a different island. So, I mean, significantly different island, not a bridge island.
Right.
So, and there's so much to see there. We were only there for 2 days, so that's when we kind of decided we can't go somewhere for 2 days. You need to be there for 3 days or even 4 to really see, because there was the glass-making island,
Right.
Morongo, Miranda, I don't know.
I think it's
remember.
Murano.
Murano, thank you. Yeah, very famous glass, worldwide famous glass. Lido Island is, you know, miles long. It would have been fun to walk. So
Sure.
we were only there for 2 days, maybe 2.5. So I really recommend staying places longer.
Out near San Marcos Square, there were a lot of street performers. There were people dressed up in Venetian-style clothing with big wigs and dresses on stilts, entertaining people.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yes, that was fun. Don't eat near San Marcos Square.
We stopped to get a glass of
drink.
whiskey, and
Right.
it was $20 or 20 pounds each, or 20 euros.
20 euros each. It's ridiculous. I could have bought the bottle.
Yeah.
You know.
Oopsie.
So you know, that's how you live and learn. Even though I knew better, and I still did it. So there are times, you know, okay, let's.
If it's
Not
going to
worried
be
about
a great bar experience, I think it's fantastic. Do it. But that wasn't a particularly delightful bar experience. He was grumpy.
Right?
Which I like a grumpy bartender sometimes, but not for that much money.
Yeah.
Better be cheap booze.
Yeah.
Scuzzy environment if I'm going to have a grumpy bartender.
All right.
You'd go back?
Oh yes, I absolutely want to go back. I've spent 3 or 4 days easily there. You know, walking around. We walked across every bridge, of course.
Yep.
And they have the the buses that are in every city. They have boats. You know, city tour. It's a boat.
Nice.
So we didn't do that, but you certainly can.
Was that like a hop on, hop off?
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
neat.
But it was a boat. So
I don't remember that. Nice.
yeah. So I didn't get a map, but I would certainly look into that when I went back. So spend a day jumping on and off, and it's beautiful. Really is.
Yeah. I would definitely go back, and like you, I would spend more time, and I probably would do a gondola ride. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would think if I were to go back, I would probably spend a minimum of 5 days,
Yeah.
just so you could chillax a little and have a little more fun. I wouldn't go in when it's rainy because it's very wet. You know, it's all canals, and the
That's
alleyways
another
are pretty
thing.
wet.
You know, we're walking down to the water bus, and they have these elevated. They're on like a metal step, and then they have wood on top of it. So when the tide is high, the walkway's flooded. I mean, you could see the moss up the walkway for 12 inches. So they have these elevated walkways to walk on. So that's another thing. If you were there when it was really flooded, you might not want to do too much that day. Wait for it to go back out, and then get
Yeah.
back. So who knows?
Interesting.
But definitely yes. You said 5 days, 4 or 5 days. Definitely worth it. Venice is beautiful. I know it's touristy. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just get up early. You're going to miss a lot of the tourists if you get up early.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, Al.